are talking about Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj. Last time, when we were discussing about Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj, we came to know that Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj established Vihangam Yog, the organization, in 1924 with a specific objective on the basis of his own oath to liberate at least 100,000 lives. From there onward, Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj has picked up quite a strenuous journey to roam around the whole of the India to propagate the Brahma Vidya knowledge, the knowledge of the Supreme, to everyone, all the eligible people, wherever he could meet all those people. Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj has spent, in fact, a lot of time in the natural cave of Himalayas, which right now is, we call it Shunya Shikhar Ashram. The original natural cave still exists there, but now additional things are also available. In that cave, Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj has meditated. At the same time, later on, he created a book. He wrote a book called Swarved, and that was completed in the foothills of Himalayas in that cave, Shunya Shikhar Ashram. Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj actually was honored by Eternal Master with the title Sadguru in 1935-36. Here I would like to reiterate one more time, when we were discussing about the Eternal Master and the four types of Sadgurus, we had came to know at that time point that the post Sadguru is not something that people elect someone on their own criteria or basis. It's not like that. It is actually coming from top-down approach. So the Eternal Master, who is the master of all master only, the Eternal Master can honor anyone, those eligible people, of course, eligible special souls like Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj, which is actually a rare one, with this honor, Sadguru. So Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj was honored by this title in 1935-36. And from there onward, the journey was very different. And very interestingly, in 1938 itself, just in 2-3 years from that time onward, he declared his first successor to Dharmchand Dev Ji Maharaj. And not just that, he also mentioned that this is happening 15 years earlier than the normal time. What does it mean? This means that he wanted to tell that right now, although I'm declaring my first successor this time, but ultimately the role of this successor will come into the picture after 15 years, which was a very clear indication that Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj will leave his mortal body in 15 years from this time onward, which was actually in 1954 in February, which was very much same as 15 years. So Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj had declared a lot of things, what is going to happen in future. And one more interesting thing, what he mentioned at the time when he was transferring his power, the spiritual power, to Dharmchand Dev Ji Maharaj, and even before, he said to him that your turn is only for 15 years. That means in 1954, when you will take over this role, from that time onward, your turn will only be there only for 15 years. After that, someone else will come into the picture to take this role. That means Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj had declared about his leaving of his mortal body. Not just that, rather he indicated to Dhamchand Dev Ji Maharaj also that when will his turn will over, and actually when he would have to leave his mortal body. And that happened exactly that way. In 1969, we will talk about more about Dhamchand Dev Ji Maharaj. He left his body in 1969, exactly in 15 years since he took over as a successor. Such an interesting thing here. Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj is a time traveler. I'm not saying was a time traveler. I'm saying is a time traveler. Still, he is functioning from his own conscious zone. We are talking about that kind of yogi, the supreme yogi who knows everything in and out. But only those people who are eligible enough to understand and experience all these things will come to know in real experience at the level of soul what is happening. Along with all these things, Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj wrote 35 books. If you remember, we were talking at the beginning time about the childhood of Sadguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj. He did not go to any proper school, and the then scholars had rejected him to teach him Sanskrit. Despite that, he wrote 35 books, and one of them is Swarved. In Swarved, he actually put all of his experiences, all the spiritual experiences, in the form of verses, in the form of couplets. There are around 4,000 couplets available in this book. Not just that, Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj had translated the spiritual verses of Vedas, and thereafter he translated Bijak also, which was written by Sadhguru Kabir Sahib. Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj's journey has been very, very different from anyone which you think of. It's very, very different. When we talk about Swarved itself, you'll come to know a lot many different and interesting things about Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj through Swarved as well. This Swarved actually was later on translated in Hindi by Sadhguru Dhamchand Dev Ji Maharaj, which was instructed by Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj itself. He told Sadhguru Dhamchand Dev Ji Maharaj that within your time itself, you must provide your commentary on all these couplets. Otherwise, the real meaning of whatever I have written will be lost, and people will not be able to understand what exactly the real meaning of it is. And same thing will happen with this scripture also, what has happened with other scriptures in this world in past. There has been many memoirs of miracles surrounded by Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj, but Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj always mentioned that miracles are actually obstacles for anyone who is on the path of spirituality. These are obstacles. It will deviate you from the real journey, from the real path. And that's why Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj has always mentioned, please don't stuck in the miracles. Don't ask for it. Don't expect for it. Just go on the spiritual path which I have designed for. Because rest all other things will happen on the basis of our karma. Don't disturb that. It has to happen. Don't expect for miracle. In today's world, most of us have been thinking, oh, what miracle is going to happen with me? Oh, is this guru to whomever we are associated with, whether this guru will do some miracle with me, or has he been doing any miracle here and there or not? And then only I will have full faith in that type of guru. Whereas Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj, who is at that level, mentioned that please don't get engaged yourself in any specific kind of miracles. These are just obstacles on the spiritual path. The power of the yogi is very, very unique, and there has not been any yogi so far in this world, in this era, as like Sadhguru Sadafaldeo Ji Maharaj. We will talk more in the next section. Thank you very much for listening.